3.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Brew here on Brew Sports. It is a Friday edition. The week is finally in the bag, and I know that there is one person more than myself who is excited that it's finally Friday. It is McKenzie Laurent. Congratulations, you've made it this far. However, you still have a little bit more to do, though, don't you?
Yes.
So two final
close,
things
though.
standing in your way before you can finally say, I'm done. Thank you, school. It's been fun, but I'm out. But you still, well,
For another year.
For another year at least. But still.
Yeah.
It's still an
Close
exciting
enough.
time. So we've been hearing all week about your crazy exams. What do you have standing in front of you today so you can finally say hello, summer?
I have a persuasive communication final
Okay. Not too
and
bad.
a statistics final.
Statistics. I've never been good at math, so
Me either.
Oh, okay, perfect. Then I feel not as bad then, because for some reason math and I have never gotten along.
I worked my butt off to get an A this semester.
Proud of you.
Thank
Way to
you.
go. That's
Thank you.
amazing. So congratulations to McKenzie on that one. We are excited, though, of course, as we mentioned. It is Friday, and of course, which means we're going to have a lot of different fun today. We've got a lot of different things to talk about, not only in the baseball world, but also just in the sports world as a whole. We've got two good questions for you today. One, since off the back of high school and college is coming to an end, we are asking what your favorite graduation memory is. High school, college, grad school, law school. I don't know where you all went to school, so homeschool, I guess, for those of you too. I was part of that crowd for a little while. Let us know. We'd love to hear your thoughts about your favorite graduation memory. We are also asking, do you support tanking in sports? And I'll get into that in just a second with the comments from Mark Cuban if you haven't heard those yet. So let us know your two thoughts about the questions of the day. We are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube and on our Spreaker.com page as well, too, for those of you that are more of a listener than a viewer type. So all the places you want us, we are here for you. Come at us this morning. So we do jump into our What's Brewing segment this morning and some news out of the NBA right off the bat this morning,
Yeah.
McKenzie. What do we got going on so far?
So the NBA first team, second team, all that good stuff
Yes.
was announced. Giannis from the Bucks was joined by Steph Curry in the second team.
Ooh.
Harden was the only player named to the first team that was on all 100 ballots. And there was a couple players that made the first team for 11 times, which is a new record.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, I've got the list in front of me right now looking at it. I mean, the first team, you got Harden, Westbrook, LeBron, Kyrie, and Anthony Davis. I mean, I don't think there's really any hesitation on that as well, too. And I've heard people go back and forth about this a little bit, some saying that, you know, the all-NBA teams are the only, like, semi-pure thing in sports anymore because you actually have to have the players in their positions. It's like you have the centers. It's not just like, here are the 5 best players.
I agree.
Now go. It's like, oh, you actually have a center. You actually have a point guard. So it's like, oh. So that's why some people would probably be a little back and forth about, well, was Kawhi Leonard really one of the best players in the league, like, from his position? Or was he really, or Anthony Davis, like, the best center? Like, yes, they were. But, you know, if you had to name the 5 best players in the league, I don't think Kawhi Leonard or Anthony Davis would be on your list. You know, I could be wrong about that, but, you know, they would probably be in that top 10, but not your top 5, though.
Yeah, I would agree.
Definitely some thought for the future, though, moving forward. The honorable mentions are Karl Anthony Towns, Gordon Hayward, Paul George. He's kind of upset about that. He misses out on potentially getting a 5-year, $210 million max contract. He only can now get a $180 million max contract.
Oh, wow. I feel
Paul
really
George.
bad.
I know that he works hard. And I know that extra couple of million would have really helped.
How is he going to afford anything?
It's just funny because people have been posting pictures and memes about, like, sad Paul George. I'm like, he can still make $180 million. If you are that depressed with your life with $180 million, you need to check yourself.
Well, yeah, you don't need $180 million for anything in life.
People barely need $1 million, let's be honest.
I would agree.
Oh, my Lord. All right, so that's one of the things that's brewing this morning. One of the other things that's brewing, if you have not heard about this, as I mentioned, Dallas Mavericks owner. There we go. I just need more coffee here. Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban was on the Dan Patrick Show recently saying that once the Mavericks were officially eliminated from the playoffs, they did everything in their possible way to tank to lose games the remainder of the season. There was only 7 games left once they finally got eliminated from playoff contention. But when you hear comments like that, when you say we did everything in our power, now that means not playing Dirk as much, not playing some of your starters as much, giving the younger guys the opportunity to go out. That's not saying like they're trying to pull out the ball boy and say, get out there and good luck kind of thing. They're just putting a less talented roster. But the thing about that, though, is they started off the season 3-14. So even with their full roster, they still weren't that good,
Right.
you know? So no matter who was on the floor, I mean, they went 2-5 those last 7 games of the season. But my question to you is, though, how do you react to comments like this? And then that kind of plays into our question of the day is, do you support tanking in sports?
I think it's ridiculous.
It is.
I can see from the fact of, hey, we're already out. Let's let some other guys get some play time here, but not in the effort that, oh, you know they're so bad that we're just gonna lose, so
Right.
we might as well not even try to win. I think there's a difference in the mentality that you go about it and how that is with playing the younger guys or newer guys on the team.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one too. I mean, you still want to give your all at the end of the season. I mean, I don't care if
Yeah.
you're out of the playoffs or not, but to be public about it, it's one thing to say behind closed
Yes,
doors.
I would agree
guys,
with that as well.
We just not going to be the best of the year.
Yeah.
Let's just go. And they only had a 6% chance of getting the first overall pick in the lottery too. So some of that, it's like, okay, I get why you were trying to do it, but at the same time, it's like, just don't be so public about it. But that's Mark
Yeah.
Cuban, though. That's who he
yeah.
is. He's very outspoken. He doesn't care at all.
I would say he doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
And why should he? He doesn't need anyone's approval.
Right. He's Mark Cuban. He does what he wants,
Exactly.
I guess. So a couple of comments on Facebook fast. Jeff says, McKenzie needs glasses so you both can have secret identities. What do you mean? Baxter Colburn's been here the entire time. Oh, just kidding. Anyway, do you have glasses at all?
No.
These aren't even like glasses. These are like blue light glasses because I stare at screens all day and cameras and lights. So
Oh.
like these help like reduce the
Wait, so
stress
you
in my
actually
eyes.
have good vision?
I do. I actually
Oh.
have very good vision. Like nothing changes by me taking
Yeah.
this off. You're just you're a little less blue when I put these on. You're not. It's not you. It's the screens though.
I didn't know they made that.
Yeah, if you'd like. I mean, it's not much of a difference, but here, McKenzie will suddenly transform into like.
I look like
somebody-
Eric Silgard.
You do. You do. And you look cute with glasses. So there you go. It looks very nice on you. It's a little bit. It's just enough. But it's one of those things where it's like if you're looking at a screen long enough, like I'm looking now at my screen again after not looking at it with my glasses on, and I can see the difference again. Because the blue light, like in your cell phone and your laptop and everything, like after staring, like, after you like write a paper for like 3 or 4 hours,
your head is pounding.
right. That's from the blue light that's in those
Wow.
screens. So this helps reduce that. So
Genius.
I know. I'm not just trying to be like a tool and wear glasses that have nothing to do with my like the lensless, glasses. I'm not like actually something here, and I'm just trying to help prevent
Yeah.
and increase the longevity of my vision. So
Wow.
plus it goes with the outfit, I guess. So.
Making me look bad.
Not at all the intention. Not at all. Like I said, I mean, the glasses looked good on you, so we'll have
Thanks.
to go for that. All right. One other thing too. Bryce commented on the All NBA team. He said missing those are the big three, or the big Paul George, of course, and Hayward, because small market teams can't go over into the luxury tax like the Lakers can. That's why they haven't been given those huge max deals. Probability of the Pacers and the Jazz to keep their stars are significantly less. That is very true. People certainly are not going to Utah and going to Indiana to become a superstar. They usually go get developed, and then they jump ship and go play for the big market teams. Makes total sense to me.
Yep.
The fact that they missed out on some of that is, neither here nor there, I feel like. So one of the other final things you had alluded to it, not only is this something to do with the Milwaukee Brewers, but it's been kind of a viral thing as well, too. You mentioned Mr. Eric Sogard. You've got some inside funny information about Mr. Sogard there. What's going on with him?
So I'm sure everybody saw all over social media now his adorable little daughter.
Yes.
And she was so upset because dad hit a home run, but then the Padres hit a home run and they ended up winning. I thought the Padres PR team totally capitalized on this opportunity. And then the next day, I believe it was probably 2 days ago already, about 10 employees went and sat with her in the stands and brought her a box of cupcakes because what makes a little girl happier than a box of cupcakes?
Right? Exactly.
Yes.
It was just really funny, too, to see her reaction from everything. And you said that she's apparently been turned into a bunch of different memes and all kinds of other
Even
stuff.
the Brewers, if you look on the Brewers Twitter page, anytime Eric Sogard hits he's been getting hits left and right, but or getting a home run, they have some kind of meme of her eating cotton candy or eating this or cheering in the stands.
It seems to be a theme, though, too, in sports. I mean, we all remember Steph Curry's daughter kind of stealing the press conferences a couple of years ago, and now all of a sudden Eric Sogard's daughter is becoming a viral thing, not just in Milwaukee. It's expanding to the national and international realm. So
Yeah.
it's always funny. I mean, I've already been, it was a weird transition for me to be known as Baxter, then to be called Beckham's dad. Like, the first time somebody called me, oh, you're Beckham's dad, I was like, oh, yeah, I am. I'm
Right.
like, oh, my gosh. Like, you start to just become identified by your kids eventually. So that's just things to look forward to. You will never be McKenzie after you have kids. Be like, oh, you're Susie's mom.
Gosh.
Oh, you're Jimmy's mom. Be like, great, yes, I will never have an identity again. Like, your kids will make you famous, basically, which is completely fine. I'm sure your parents would be like, oh, you're Mackenzie's parents. Be like, yes.
And they're like, sure am.
Yeah, I get it. We love Mackenzie. She's the best. I did not expect that from you. I was like, yes. Like, I need to meet your parents now. Be like, is that your daughter? Yeah, you bet it is.
Oh my gosh.
Love Mackenzie.
My dad is like this very intense wrestling coach, like football coach kind of guy. Biggest heart ever, but he would never do this.
That would be amazing. Absolutely amazing if he actually did that. I now I need to meet your parents.
I'll try to get a video of him sending one to me going like that.
Be like, Dad, I just need you to, we will be more than happy to play it on the air. That would be incredible.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. One of the other things, too, that if you're just tuning in, obviously we are asking the 2 questions of the day. Do you support tanking in sports? And number 2, your favorite graduation memory. Mackenzie and I will offer our answers to that very shortly. So make sure to stick around for that. You're still thinking about your dad pounding his chest, aren't you? Yep. It's... I love it. Oh, my gosh. Well, one of the other people that might be banging on his chest is Conor McGregor. He has officially signed his half of the contract to fight Floyd Money Mayweather. He's also applied for a boxing license in Nevada as well, which, of course, the fight would take place in Las Vegas. Where else would it take place?
Yeah.
Floyd is still yet to pony up. He still has yet to sign. I don't know what he's waiting for. There's $100 million sitting on the table, and he's just kind of poking it like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do it. Like, why would you not? Even for $100 million. I think Conor McGregor is going to actually come out and try to fight. I think Floyd's going to duke and dodge a little bit and maybe try to work out some backroom deal to get paid a little bit more if he lets Conor win. Kind of a thing,
I could
too.
see that. Are you a fan of the fights? Do you watch them?
No, I'm not. I'm a fan of the personality of Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey, but aside from that, I really don't care.
Yeah, that's how I am as well.
Never been a boxing fan, never been a UFC fan. I've had roommates and friends that have been like, Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz, Misha Tate, and I'm like, who are these people?
Yeah,
like,
I'm the same way.
I know who they are now, obviously, because I've been doing this long enough to know who they are, but for something like this, though, because you've got one world mixing with another world where that one world is old and barely can fight anymore, even though he's considered one of the best of all times, then you've got McGregor, who's this fiery young Irishman that's still trying to make a name for himself outside of the UFC world. I think it's a waste of time, but I think it's also an incredibly smart business deal if they do it, because you're going to make $100+ million. So of course that makes sense. I would fight for $100 million. Even
I
though
would let someone beat me up for $100 million.
I hate fighting, but I would more than willing to step in a ring to get $100 million. It's fine with me. I won't be mad about that. So
don't kill me, but you can beat on
exactly.
me, and then I'll take my money and leave.
We'll give him a good show.
Yeah.
We'll give him a good show, and then we can call it a day and move on. Perfect. I think everybody wins in that regards.
I would agree.
Yeah. All right. Do you know what your best graduation memory was? Do you have one from high school?
Well,
Since obviously you haven't hit college yet. So how'd the one and done go for you so far?
Trying to think. I guess so. My grandma. I don't know if this counts as a memory, but the night of my graduation, my grandma gave me a comforter for my bed along with pillowcases, but it was made out of all of my high school t-shirts. So like my state track shirt and like anything that was like of high importance basically that I accomplished in high school was made into this huge
quilt.
Yeah.
I got the same thing. This must be a high school thing, because
I think so.
I got the exact same thing with all of my soccer jerseys
cool.
throughout like the last, like from when I was like a kid, like I think 6 or 7 till basically graduating high school. I got this huge big comfort. I have no idea where it is now. I think my mom has it somewhere, but it was really cool because it had my, the backs of my jerseys, and then like a lot of my family like wrote little notes or like made like individual like little squares, and then like my mom helped sew them in as well too. So it was really well. Cool. It was really well done. And I really enjoyed it. But that seems to be like a high school thing now. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I've got a quilt from graduation that has everything I've ever done with my life up to this point. It's like,
I just remember I really didn't want to graduate. I was really just content where I was at. I was just like so happy with life. So when I opened it, I was just really emotional and I cried. And I don't know. So that's like the reason I remember it.
That's interesting. Okay. I don't remember being emotional at high school graduation. I wasn't a huge fan of my high school at that point in time.
Okay.
I enjoyed it because I was homeschooled till my freshman year of high school. So sophomore through senior year, I went to a private Catholic high school.
Okay.
So I already went into school with an X on my back because people are like, okay, you've never been a part of any of us.
Weirdo,
Yeah, it's like you were homeschooled.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then all these kids, aside from maybe like 10 of us, had been going to school together since they were in kindergarten.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
just how the system had worked. They just all kept moving up together. So I immediately was in at a disadvantage. So I made friends and picked the wrong girl to date when I was there. So that, branded me. And it was
Yep.
a school of 200 kids. So you pick the one wrong person and then you're done, basically.
Yep.
So I was like, great. So by that point, when it came time for graduation, I was like, I'm done. Like I remember
See ya.
like getting my diploma, kissing it, and being like, yep, and then walked off the stage. I'm like, I'm out. Like, thank you, God, kind
Yeah.
of a thing. So I wasn't sad. College, I was sad because then at
Yeah.
that point, I was like, I have to go be an adult now.
Right.
Like this terrifies me.
Me too. But I am excited to walk across the stage because I'm going to be waving my tassels around. So excited.
Yes.
Accomplished so much in these 4 years.
Yes.
Worked my butt off. So yeah, I'm going to be excited at that one.
Yeah, I mean, college was a lot of fun for me. I mean, I had 4 great years. It was a lot of fun. I met my wife. I met a lot of my best friends at that point too. Got to go to Europe. So did a lot of great stuff in college. So
Yeah.
I was far more emotional in college. I think if I had had a better high school experience, I'd have been like, oh my gosh. But
Right.
even all my good friends in high school didn't go to my high school. They all went to other schools around just because of sports and other
Okay.
church and all that other stuff. So even nowadays, people are like, do you reminisce anybody from high school? I'm like, yeah, but nobody I went to school with.
Right.
Like, I didn't like anybody I went to
Yeah.
high school with or just never formed a friendship. But I've started
Yeah.
to talk to a couple of them here and they'll be like, oh, we went to school together. It's
Right.
like, oh,
People
great.
change definitely after
It's
high
really
school.
it's really weird for me though to think that and I know for those that are obviously older, you're gonna be like, that's nothing. But like for me, it's weird. Okay, I've been out of high school 7 years. Like that's weird for me. It's weird to
That
think about.
sounds kind of long.
It is. Like I graduated in 2010,
okay.
and it just seems like I feel super old. I'm not. I'm only 25 years old, but like I feel super old saying that.
You graduated when I graduated middle school.
See, now I feel really old. See, I mean, but that's not that big a difference, though. Like,
it's
if you
not.
really think about it, it's only a 4-year difference,
Yeah.
though. So,
Yeah.
I'm not. That makes total sense to me. So I'm not entirely thrown off by that. But
Yeah.
yeah. So Josh says on Facebook, he says, "We are saving all of my son's jerseys to do that in the future." Hashtag Aw, I love it.
It really is such a cool thing though, because you're
It
never gonna
is.
wear all of those shirts again. Like you're gonna
Right.
wear them when you mow the lawn or do something, and then they get ruined. So
You'll probably make them into a cutoff
Yeah.
or two at some point in your
Yeah.
in your life. Be like, oh, like. I mean, and some of those little ones, like you're never gonna wear your seventh grade soccer jersey again, kind of thing. You're gonna
Exactly.
put it in a closet, or you're gonna forget about it, or you're gonna give it to Goodwill. Like,
yeah.
no one's
And
gonna.
one day, when your time is gone, your kids are gonna love it. Like that's
Right.
something that they get to keep. That is kind of like a part of you. So it is cool.
Exactly, and I think that's why I think it's such a special moment, honestly, too. So I'm completely for it. I think it's a great thing, honestly. So I definitely support that, to say the least. All right, looking around, of course, in the rest of the sports world, we wanted to talk just briefly. Actually, I'm sorry. Before we do that, I wanted to look at a story about graduation that has actually been circulating the Wisconsin newspaper circles and online circles as well, too. So I don't know if did you have any risky business from your seniors come graduation time? Was anybody trying to like TP things or light cars on fire or do anything stupid like that?
No, my school, it was.
You went to a big high school though, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to Kimberly, so
Yeah.
really large school. But everybody is like so passionate about either like, yeah, either about. I don't see. My high school is cool because kids from the football team play in the band at halftime and stuff. Like,
Oh, wow.
everybody is so involved and really passionate about what they do that.
That's
I
very
mean,
rare.
obviously,
Wow.
there's those kids that party and stuff, but. That's not really a thing at my school. Nobody
Wow.
really gets in trouble. I think I know one kid that got suspended the whole time I was there. Like, people don't do bad things, which sounds crazy. It sounds like I'm just oblivious, but I'm really not.
Wow. That's interesting. Okay, yeah. I mean, my high school was totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it was very small, but we would have kids literally stumbling into finals week wasted because they've been
yeah.
partying hard the night before, and I'm just like, and I was the idiot, and I'm like, oh, we had an outdoor school, like obviously because it was Florida, so you
Okay,
didn't
yeah.
have to worry about like being in but kids would like walk the halls with black sunglasses on, and I'm like, it's 8 a.m. I'm like, why are you wearing sunglasses? And like somebody would nudge me, be like, because they were drinking excessively last night. I was like.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, like that makes total sense. Like it's very bright. Like, okay, like I understand all of that now. Like when I see somebody
Yeah.
but in high school as a 17, 18-year-old kid, I'm like, why are you wearing sunglasses
Right.
to class? I'm like,
Yeah.
who
Obviously,
are you?
there's a couple of those kids in every school,
Right.
but those aren't the cool kids. Everyone's like, nice, dude.
Yeah.
See ya.
No, and that was the thing. Those were the cool kids,
Yeah.
unfortunately, at my school.
Yeah.
So you were the athlete. You were like the 3-sport athlete. You also managed to get a 4.0, but you also drank excessively.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm like,
not how-
for me, that doesn't add up somehow, some way. I'm like, that.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I'm proud of my school for that. I don't know how we've managed to do that,
Way
but
to
I
go.
love it. Yeah.
Well, way to go. Well, there is a bunch of seniors in eastern Wisconsin. This has been circulating in national news, apparently. A group of 20 students has been banned from going to their own high school graduation because they toilet papered a bunch of trees. That's not that bad. But then they wrote graffiti on the bricks outside of the high school.
That's pushing it.
That's where you stepped over the line. You were fine. Toilet paper is been around
Right. You
since
can
the
throw it
beginning
away
of
and
time.
it's
I
over
think
with.
Cain and Abel toilet paper the garden even. Garden Eden kind of a thing. Like it's been going along for a long time basically. But these students, the seniors, have been banned. And just are basically trying to figure out what they do, what to do from here on out. Do they still get to? I'm assuming they still get to graduate. I don't know.
Yeah,
officially,
they probably just don't
but
want to like
they
honor
just-
them on stage
Yes,
and give
they'll
them
be like,
the credit. Yeah.
I mean, if you're a parent of another student, you're just like, great, graduation's gonna be a little bit shorter now. We can
Yeah.
get back to lunch and be on our way, kind of thing. But yeah, 5 seniors won't be allowed to walk in their graduation because of the prank. One of the guys that was suspended said the group was just trying to have fun. I don't know.
I have fun in
don't
other
think
ways,
so.
but that's
there's
fine.
numerous other ways to have fun.
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to that. So a little poor choice in that one. I think college
Yep.
is going to hit some of these kids in the face rather hard when it comes to
Yep.
that sort of a thing. So kind of an interesting thing there. So like I said, never did anything chaotic or crazy like that. Even in college, I mean, I did some funny random stuff, but never anything to push the limits that far.
Yeah, I would never do
vandalized
something that
anything.
inconvenienced or harmed somebody else.
Right. You can have fun. You can do illegal things to an extent, but as long as you're not trying to put somebody else in harm's way, that's I think where you start to get on the
Yep.
wrong side of the tracks, honestly.
I agree.
So, all right, last thing we want to do before we get out of here, we wanted to look actually briefly at the leaders in the National League.
Yes.
So the Washington Nationals, the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Colorado Rockies. And I wanted to pose the question to you, of these 3 teams, do you think any of them are going to be able to sustain what they've got right now? The Brewers have been a huge surprise. The Rockies have been a huge surprise. We kind of knew what we were going to get from Washington, let's be honest. When you've got
Yeah.
guys like Bryce Harper swinging the bat for you, it makes sense.
Yep.
You're going to be successful no matter who else is on that team, kind of a thing. Do you think all 3 of these or 1 of these or 2 of these are going to sustain this moving forward? I mean, how do you view these 3 teams on top of the National League right now?
Well, speaking specifically about the Brewers, I think they're going to. They're a
Interesting,
young
okay.
team, but I think they're a really good team, and I think that similar to like the Bucks, people should be really excited about the rebranding and the rebuilding of this program. The fact that you can pull up a guy like Eric Sogard and he becomes one of your best players, hitting home runs, making plays in the field. I mean, there's just so much depth on this team, and if you look at their first inning starts and the amount of runs they're scoring in the first inning, I think they could almost put up a fight against any team.
I think they will, honestly. I mean, they have a 3-game series now with Chicago over the weekend. The Brewers are 12-7 on the road this season. They've won their last 3 games. They beat San Diego 3 out of 4 times. So they seem to be putting it together, honestly, consistently. It's not one of those like, oh, we're good, we're bad, we're kind of, all over. No, Milwaukee's been pretty consistent throughout. They're also... It's funny, too, because technically St. Louis is only a game back, even though the Brewers
Right.
have 3 more wins, but they've got only 1 loss separating the 2 of them. But to know that you have 3 more wins than the Cubs and the Cardinals is, I think, a big confidence booster, honestly,
Absolutely.
for your franchise. Colorado's been a huge surprise as well this season.
They have.
They are 13-10 at home, 13-6 on the road. But 26-16, they are 2 games clear of the also kind of surprising Arizona Diamondbacks this season as well, too, out in the NL West. The Dodgers have been a little all over the place this year, so we'll see. But you'd like to think in that division, the Dodgers' power and depth will eventually start to help them trickle up a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with you talk about sustainability for a lot of these teams as well, is where are they going to be come July, come
I was going to say, the season
Labor
is
Day?
so long. You have to look
Right.
at literally the whole team, everybody they have on
Yeah.
the team that's able to make an impact, because you can't just have the starting rotation. It never lasts.
Right, exactly. We are about, like we said, about a third of the way through the
Yeah.
season, about a fourth of the way, depending on what fraction you want to use. So you're starting to get an idea. But if you had told us, on May 19th, 2017, the Brewers would be sitting in first place or the Rockies would be sitting in first place, I think we both would have kind of laughed at you a little bit. Not that we
Yeah.
don't like you. Maybe you're funny looking, but we would probably have laughed at you a bit, like, okay, just easy
Right.
does it kind of thing.
Like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Right. Washington, I don't think anybody's surprised by that.
Yeah.
They're a phenomenal ball club. They are on a 2-game losing streak, but they are also 8 games ahead of the second-to-placed Atlanta Braves. I think they're fine.
I would agree.
really think they're fine. The Mets were the only team in that division that was semi-rumored to be that challenger to Washington, but at this point, even through the rest of the season, it's Washington's division to lose, I feel
Yeah.
like. So I'm curious to see, obviously, how the rest of the season plays out, but I'm very excited, obviously, as a Milwaukee Brewers supporter. I think this has been a huge movement for them, and I'm hopeful that they can keep up the
Playoffs,
sustainability.
baby.
Keep
We're
going.
coming.
Get to the playoffs. Go Brew
We are
Crew.
coming.
All right, McKenzie, I know that you have to get out of here and you got to run and do different exciting things. But
Yes.
as we mentioned to you, before we get out of here, as we do our closing thoughts, if you haven't told us yet what your favorite graduation memory is, we'd love to hear from you. We say good morning to Scott and Bryce and Megan and others as well. James, we also are asking, do you support tanking in sports as well, too? You said you do not support tanking in
Yeah.
sports. I don't really support it either. I understand if you have to have the conversations behind closed doors, then that's
Yeah.
fine. But if you are very open and public about it, like Mavericks owner Mark Cuban, then that's a bit.
It's
That's where
embarrassing.
you cross the line. That's
Yeah.
embarrassing. It's just you're also disregarding the feelings of your fans as well. I feel
Yeah.
like being like, we actually
Wasting
don't care.
their money for
Right,
coming
we
to a
don't care
game.
anymore. The last 7 games of the season that you guys came to, we really just didn't care, and we just flopped around for a while. So that's what I say to that. And my favorite graduation memory, I don't know if I actually gave one or not, but probably just having all of my family come down to Florida, because I moved away from all my family because I
Right.
lived up here. So a lot of my family flew down, and we got to spend a ton of time together. So that was a
That's
lot
awesome.
of fun to get that to have that happen. So we certainly wish all of you a tremendous weekend. I want to thank McKenzie for
Thank
filling in
you.
this week as well.
It's been
too. You
such
did
a great
phenomenal
week.
job. Good luck on your last 2 finals.
Thank you.
Congratulations on reaching summer as well
Whew,
too.
so close.
Can take some. I'm mentally thinking of the shots we can take in August, of course,
Yeah.
because we can't legally do that right now. But anyway, as we were saying with tanking, if it's done behind closed doors, nobody
Yeah.
knows. But
Right.
we're not supporting underage drinking. Anyway, good luck to everybody, and congratulations that is graduating this weekend as well too. I know I have a bunch of friends that are graduating from college. One of them's watching, so Megan, I hope you have a phenomenal graduation tomorrow. I'm very proud of you and everybody else that's graduating
Wait,
as well
Megan
too.
isn't our friend? Megan?
Well, that was another Megan as well
Oh.
too. But yes, also that Megan.
I was going to say, she's
She
graduating.
graduates tomorrow too. A couple of
Yeah.
Megans. I know a lot of Megans. It's ridiculous. But to every Megan everywhere that's graduating tomorrow, we're proud of you. Congratulations. So remember to check out Brew Sports here on Facebook and on YouTube. We are also on Spreaker.com, Twitter and Instagram as well too, at BrewSportsNet. And you can also find myself at Baxter Colburn on Twitter, and there's an underscore in there, there's an M in there, there's a Laurent in there. I don't know.
MCK_Laurent.
There we go.
All
Okay.
social media is the same.
That's what I thought it was, but I didn't want to commit to it and be like, just kidding. So
Yep.
MCK_Laurent.
Yeah.
There we go. Now I know. Perfect. If you want to follow either of us, we'd love to hear from you. Remember, if you haven't told us your answers to the questions today, we'll comment back as well too, even after we're off the air. So for McKenzie Laurent, I'm Baxter Colburn. Thanks so much for watching The Morning Brew. We'll see you guys next time on Monday for The Morning Brew.
3, 2, 1.